I want to have a quick conversation with you about TrackVia inventory management. This is a inventory management software that can really help you optimize your inventory, but also your supply chain management. So, into this conversation, we want to dig a little bit into this software tool. So, here's the presentation I want you to think about. When you think about TrackVia, what should you think about? Well, I want you to think about a leading mobile quality management solution for manufacturers. So it's not just about inventory management, it's all about quality management, not only across your supply chain, but also when it comes to your warehouse management. So that's really cool. And so what I love about TrackVia is that you have a cloud delivery system. And here is a system that offers native mobile capabilities right out the box, but also allows for offline data entry and synced with the system once the connection is regained. So that's really cool. So this advanced functionality gives frontline workers the tools they need to streamline their work while providing the back office accurate real-time data and actionable visibility into manufacturing operations. And the cool thing is that this software really helps you instill a layer of granularity into your analysis when it comes to inventory, but also helps you in terms of efficiency. So that's really good. So the bottom line here is that you can drive critical business decisions with a TrackVia. And TrackVia is also fully configurable, allowing all kinds of manufacturers like you, for instance, to tailor the solution to fit their exact specifications and needs. So that's really good. So the solution's flexibility allows manufacturers in all economic sectors to remain agile and easily make changes to their applications to support their processes as they evolve. So that's really good. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when you think about TrackVia, I want you to think about stability in your inventory management. I want you to think about efficiency. I want you to think about scalability. You have corrective and preventative actions, process deviations, non-conformance, equipment maintenance, audit and inspections. You have an ISO 9001 compliance, supplier quality, employee training. So you have a tool that can really give you a lot of capabilities right out the box. So that's really cool when you really think about it. I want to talk to you about cost. Now, when we talk about cost, TrackVia is not cheap. You can see the prices here on the screen. So you have like $1,000 per month. That's the quick start sort of a pricing tier. And then for the business tier, you have a $2,500, and that's one admin, 5 users. Same setup for the quick start. For the enterprise, you got to call, you got to contact TrackVia to have to have a better idea. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that when we think about pricing with TrackVia, if you are going to be a startup and actually avail yourself of TrackVia's capabilities, you better be a growing startup. In other words, you better be a growth mode startup. Okay, and according to TrackVia, pricing starts at about $1,000 to $1,500 per month, because the price I'm giving you here, that's the starting price, right? Because you might have some add-ons, you might have some third-party add-ons, you might have to actually get in touch with TrackVia so they can open you their API. So if they were to have to open up their API to you, then you're gonna have to actually pay a little more. Now the bottom line here is that everything starts with TrackVia. You got to contact them first to request a demo. So you have the possibilities to try the software for free or to request a demo. Either way, you have the opportunity to actually dig a little deeper into the software to see what works for you and what might work for you or what might not work for you. What we want to advise you to do here is that if you have a choice between a demo and a free trial, you always want to go with a free trial, because a demo doesn't really replicate the a live environment, whereas a free trial actually gives you the ability to actually test the products firsthand and see how it works in real life. Okay, so demo versus a free trial, go with free trial. So the possibility, you have the possibility to have a 2-week, a 3-week, or a 4-week free trial with TrackVia, depending upon the setup that you have, and depending also upon your state, because they have this sort of pricing strategy that depends on the state you're in. Okay, so that's really important. And also when we talk about pricing, also the pricing might actually impact like you have the setup, of course, but also the integrations. So depending on what you want in terms of add-ons, you might have to pay a little more. So that's something to really think about. But long story short, TrackVia is not really for startups with cash flow problems, or maybe freelancers or whatever. No, you better be a small business, medium-sized business, large business, or a startup with pretty good cash inflows. I want to talk to you now about the pros and cons of this TrackVia software. Now, the thing is, I want to start with the pros. So when you think about TrackVia, I want you to think about a software tool that can really be can apply to all kinds of situations, all kinds of manufacturing operations, all kinds of warehouse operations, all kinds of inventory management operations. So the pros, you have a clean user interface. That's really good, because if you are looking into inventory management, the last thing you want is to actually start counting your inventory manually. You don't want that, right? So you have a clean user interface that really guides you through the software. You have a native mobile app and responsive dashboard. You have intuitive form builders and drag and drop capabilities. The drag and drop capabilities are kind of cool because you don't need to have a PhD in programming to actually use TrackVia. Okay, so the tool itself is it's user friendly, and you also have a Zapier integration. That's what I was telling you a little earlier, that if you have to go to third party integration, you can either pay for the add-ons, or you can go through a conduit such as Zapier or Slack to have access to third party apps. You have workflow automation within TrackVia. You have a good help resources and support. So overall, you have a great all-in-one solution that can really help you optimize your inventory, no matter how small or big your operation is. What about the cons here? I want to talk to you about the cons. Well, there is no entry-level tier, so small and medium-sized businesses are priced out. That's what I was just telling you a little earlier, right? $1,000 per month. Not a lot of small businesses can afford that price tag. But the thing is, if you can afford it, the ROI is pretty good. The ROI is really, really good. The return on investment is really excellent. And the default layouts can limit customizations. And basically, we think that this tool could use more pre-built data connectors and third-party app integrations. And I mean, right now, for you to really have third-party app integrations, it's either through the API or through Zapier or Slack. But they could do a lot more. I mean, they could do a lot more when it comes to a customization. But when you think about TrackVia, I want you to think about a low-code development platform that's really focused on mobile workflow management. And there are companies that really will thrive in that environment, and there are companies who will not thrive. So you got to really see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. I want to talk to you now about features here. So when we talk about TrackVia, you have a lot of features in this inventory management software. You have Gantt charts, for example. Gantt charts are capabilities that you can really find within TrackVia. You have inventory management. That's kind of cool. That's really good. I mean, having this inventory management capability within TrackVia that's the core of TrackVia when you really think about it. You have forecasting. You have API. The API, that's what I was just talking to you a little earlier about. When I said you have an application programming interface, you have collaboration tools. Also, collaboration tools are pretty good within TrackVia. You also have capabilities around time tracking. So we love that a lot. When we analyze TrackVia, we love the fact that you have time tracking capabilities, and a lot of inventory management software sort of relegate the time tracking module to the back burner. But the thing is that TrackVia is really bringing it into the fore. You have budget and expense tracking. You have Kanban. So Kanban stands for Kanban boards. You have a project and portfolio management. You have lot control tracking. That's really good. You have dashboards. You have real-time analysis, and you have a document management and sharing. So document sharing also. So the bottom line here is, when you think about the main features within TrackVia, I want you to focus on the fact that TrackVia makes it very easy to integrate workflows and processes into the existing systems, and that's really good. And it does that through the APIs and built-in connectors, making it a flexible and scalable solution. So scalable because you can start now with you can start now at a very small operation, and then you can grow within TrackVia, and you don't need to really change your setup or change your tech stack or just sort of modify your tech stack. All you have to do is just unlock new features within TrackVia, sort of like an upgrade to a higher tier. So this is pretty good to think about it that way. So scalability is really important, especially when you start a business or you really trying to really optimize your inventory flow. You want to really have a clear idea about what could happen if your activity doubled, tripled, or quadrupled. I want to talk to you about differentiators. So when we talk about differentiators within TrackVia, you have the iOS app, for instance. So basically, when if you if you want to monitor your inventory using an Apple device, so this iOS app is really good. You have custom workflows. That's another differentiator that we love a lot within TrackVia. You have compliance management. Compliance management is really solid within TrackVia, especially when it comes to the depth and breadth of capabilities. You have document storage. You have a process management. You have quality assurance. So quality assurance is kind of important too, in terms of having capabilities, but also flexibility. You have real-time analytics and reporting. So TrackVia has that differentiator where you have a very clear idea about what really happens. You have user access controls. You have web forms. You have notifications and alerts. You have easy integrations. You have a low-code alternative. So think about TrackVia in terms of differentiator as a low-code alternative. So you have a tool that can really help you do all kinds of stuff and in a pretty streamlined manner. So that's really cool. You also have faster, easier, and accurate data collection. You have mobile compatibility. So mobile compatibility is kind of cool in terms of opportunity, but also in terms of the categorization when it comes to inventory management versus supply chain management. You have support for barcodes, images, signatures, location. You have centralization of workflows. So that's another area where basically TrackVia is really adding a lot of value. You also have business intelligence, real-time charts, graphs, and more. You have proprietary workflow automation engine, and you have a customizability. So customizability is kind of important when it comes to differentiating this tool versus other tools. I want to talk to you about the specs here. So when we think about TrackVia inventory management software, what kind of specs are we thinking about here? Well, the first thing you need to really understand is that when we talk about TrackVia, we are talking about a tool that has all kinds of capabilities. We are talking about a tool that actually has a lot of how-to video tutorials and knowledge base to get you up and running and answer questions. And we love that. We also love the fact that you have the TrackVia marketplace. Now, the marketplace didn't load the first time we tested it, but really, this is actually your resource of all kinds of add-ons. So in case you want to really beef up your TrackVia software, the marketplace can really help you out. And as I said a little earlier, in terms of integration, you are able to have built-in connectors. Those are native add-ons, but you can also have third-party apps through API or through Zapier, through the Zapier conduit. So that's an important element. And when we talk about specs, it's also important to understand that you have the ability to actually integrate within TrackVia a CRM app. So basically, there is already a native CRM app called the Crowd Control within TrackVia. But if you want to beef up your CRM experience, you might want to, let's say, integrate a third-party app, because the CRM app that you have within TrackVia called the Crowd Control is not as sophisticated as the likes of Salesforce, Pipedrive, Monday.com, or Zoho. Okay, so we're talking about very decent CRM, but nothing more than that. So if you're looking for a more sophisticated experience when it comes to client relationship management, you want to really think about an integration. What we love about TrackVia overall, especially when it comes to specs, is the fact that you have automation, you have workflow automation, you have the ability to get things done a lot faster. Because the whole thing is that if you are, let's say, if you're managing one warehouse, okay, you could probably do certain things manually. But when you're managing five warehouses, 10 warehouses, 15 warehouses, are you going to automate? Are you going to do things manually, or are you going to actually be tempted to automate things? I mean, the answer is pretty simple. You're going to think about automation, right? And that's the smart choice anyway. I want to talk to you about the bottom line now. So when we think about TrackVia, is this tool really worth it for you? Well, whether the tool is worth it for you will depend upon your needs, will depend upon your capabilities, your resources, your budget. Because you saw the price a little earlier. They're charging you $1,000. Okay, and that's the starting price, right? $1,000. So the question here is that, do you have 1,000? Can you spare $1,000 just for inventory management every single month? Is the ROI justifiable? Can you justify the ROI vis-a-vis your operations? So, but the thing is that one thing for sure, TrackVia is safe, TrackVia is legit, TrackVia is worth it. But whether or not it will be good for you will depend on your operations. Because TrackVia, at the end of the day, is a simply designed and easy to use low code development platform for enterprises. Okay, and it's one of those things. It's one of those things where, of course, you can use it for inventory management, you can use it for supply chain management, you can use it for warehouse management. You can easily automate the steps in any process and integrate with other internal systems so that you are able to make your data flow seamlessly throughout every aspect of your business, especially when it comes to supply chain management, especially when it comes to inventory management, especially when it comes to warehouse management. So the bottom line here is what? The bottom line here is that if you're looking for a tool that can help you automate workflows in your inventory management, TrackVia might be that solution, as long as you have the resources. Okay, because I want to insist, $1,000, $2,500 just for inventory software. Not a lot of small businesses can afford that price tag. But if you can afford it, if you're flush with cash and you have the necessary activity to monitor, and that monitoring can justify the ROI that you can have with TrackVia, well, our advice is pretty simple. Go ahead and give the tool a try, especially because they're giving you a free trial, not a demo. I mean, they're giving you a demo and a free trial. So avail yourself of those two. Maybe you will see the difference between between TrackVia as a demo software tool and TrackVia as a software tool within a live environment. So you can decide after all whether or not that this tool is right for you or not. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I want to quickly recap to this conversation. So I was just talking to you about, I gave you the presentation. This was a TrackVia inventory management software review. I gave you the presentation, the cost, the pros and cons, the features, the differentiators, the specs, and now the bottom line. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.